Welcome to the restored, renewed and revived Bartholomew Fair. The Bartholomew Fair ran from 1133, where it was set up in order to raise funds for the church and the hospital. Exciting as it was in those days, it got more exciting as time went on and ended up being closed down by the Victorians because of the prodigious quantities of vice. Yes. The city, in its wisdom, has decided to revive this. Yay! The fair, not the vice. However, some of the traditions remain, including, I am delighted to say, the fundraising aspect. And I'm particularly delighted to tell you that the ribbon being cut today has been presented by and designed by Damien Hirst, who is allowing us to auction it off afterwards for the 900th anniversary appeal. The ribbon is part of the wonderful history of this tradition. The Bartholomew's Fair opened with the Lord Mayor coming to Smithfield, coming to Cloth Fair, because this was a fair to sell cloth, and cutting a giant piece of cloth, which began the tradition used around the world of ribbon cutting used to this day. So I'm delighted that the Lord Mayor will be here, is here to cut this ribbon for us today. And then in a few moments we will be restoring the other ancient tradition of the Bartholomew Fair, that it opened with a public disputation. It may come as a surprise to you to learn, but the clergy have not always agreed with each other. And in the Middle Ages, they did this in public, unlike today. And they held a full-scale public disputation under a wise teacher. This turned over the years into a schools debate for the City of London schools, and then, along with the vice, was suppressed by the Victorians. Well, we've revived that today too. And under the wise tutelage of the Bishop of London, we have an exciting debate where wise, noble theologians and some others shall be debating an issue pertinent to the city, that this house believes that the love of money is the root of all the nation's evils. I invite you to that after this, but first we must open the fair, and I invite Matthew Bell, one of our common councilmen, to speak next and revive one further tradition.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My Lord Mayor, welcome to this, the first of what we hope to be, as Marcus says, the new era of Bartholomew Fair. And I've been doing quite a bit of research over the years into Bartholomew Fair, and I found this story, which I would like to offer you all now, and more particularly to you, Lord Mayor, as something of a cautionary tale. Can you hear okay? All right, okay.
Closer to the mic.
I'll speak right in, okay. So I'd like to tell you this story that we unearthed while doing some research into the fair over the last few years. Particularly pertinent, as I said, for the Lord Mayor. In 1688, one of your mayoral predecessors, Sir John Shorter, was on his way to this place to carry on the tradition that was started here, as again Marcus said, of cutting a piece of ribbon to open what was originally a cloth fair. He stopped off at Newgate Prison around the corner to be given, as had also become a custom, a tankard of mead by the governor. On finishing, he shut the lid of the tankard rather noisily, frightened his horse, which reared up, throwing the unfortunate Sir John to the ground. He died 3 days later from his injuries. Not the best of punchlines, I will admit. In fact, a tragic story. Now, I have been in touch, my Lord Mayor, with your health and safety people, and they have ordered, which is probably why you came here by car and not on horseback, and they have ordered that any drink given to you must be offered in a tankard with a heavily muffled lid. Well, rather than risk any further bloodshed, chaos, or tragedy, I offer you a tankard with no lid at all. Which is full, I should say, of London pride, which we should all be. If not in belly, more's the pity, then in heart and mind at least. I ask, my Lord Mayor, that you raise the tankard in a toast to the people of London and Bartholomew Fair.
The people of London and Bartholomew Fair. Thank you, Marcus, and thank you, Matthew. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicholas Lyons, and I am the 694th Lord Mayor of the City of London, and it's my very great pleasure to be here with you at St Bartholomew the Great on this very special occasion to mark the relaunch of the legendary Bartholomew Fair. Now, the role of Lord Mayor of London is one of the oldest continuously held offices in the world, dating back to 1189. But St Bart's Church and Hospital had already existed for some 66 years before the first Lord Mayor, Henry Fitz-Aylwin, took up his post. Anglo-Norman monk and priest, Rahir has been described variously as a cleric, a courtier, a minstrel, and a jester. And while it's unclear which of these descriptions was true, we do know that he was inspired by the legend of St Bartholomew to establish a religious hospital here at Smithfield in 1123, where these twin institutions have ministered to the body and soul of the city ever since. There's so much happening to celebrate the 900th anniversary of the founding of St Bart's Church and Hospital. I'm sorry about the creaking, it's my knees. But tonight, after a 168-year hiatus, we meet to relaunch Bartholomew Fair, a 3-week-long smorgasbord of free performances and cultural events across the city, forming a key part of the City of London Corporation's Destination City programme, which sets out a vision for the square mile to become a world-leading leisure destination for visitors, workers, and residents. Now, originally launched to help fund the Priory in 1133, Bartholomew Fair quickly became a major event for commerce and pleasure alike, entertaining visitors for over 700 years until, as we have heard, it was banned for causing public disturbances in 1855. Today's Bartholomew Fair reimagines the historic celebration with a modern twist to celebrate our heritage and our contemporary culture. So featuring over 250 free events, live performances, and unique spectacles, it promises to be an unforgettable 3 weeks of fun and entertainment. Traditionally, the Lord Mayor would stop at Newgate Prison en route to opening the fair to receive that cup of fortified wine or mead from the governor. And so I am absolutely delighted that Matthew heeded the advice of my health and safety team and provided me a tankard without a lid today. I must mention that as my mother company is the Worshipful Company of Merchant Tailors, I feel especially pleased to be reopening the fair, which was once the chief cloth sale in the kingdom, reborn during my mayoralty. So tonight, we revive the centuries-old tradition of cutting cloth to declare Bartholomew Fair well and truly open. And we must thank the renowned artist Damien Hirst, who sadly can't be here tonight, for designing this extraordinary ribbon, which I'm now about to ruin. So, honouring tradition while looking to the future is what this great city is all about. And it's my great pleasure to join you tonight to mark the launch of the modern Bartholomew Fair. So now we're going to try and cut the ribbon.
Yeah.